participation in the democratic process in our country. We have a right that many people in the world do not have, and we take it so for granted. So as Mike said, please get out there and vote on February the 22nd, whoever you vote for. Get out and exercise your right to vote, because there's so many people in this world that want that same right. I got into this race because of some of the things Mike said. I've got 2 grandchildren, and when I look at those 2 grandchildren, I would do anything for them. And one of the things that I want to do for them is to make this state better for them. I want to give them a state that when they grow up, they remember the memories that I remembered when I was a kid, and that they want to live in Indian land like I have for my 51, almost 52 years. I moved about a quarter mile from where I was raised at. My grandparents lived across the street from where I lived. We grew up on a farm, and we were a family unit, grandparents, parents, and 5 boys. Those are the family values that I have, and I want to take to Columbia for you. As it turns out, I guess I am the senior person here in the race now, because even though I was the second one to declare, the first one dropped out, so I was the first one here. And I was the first one that was talking about transparency in this race. And I was the first one talking about restructuring our government, giving more power to the governor. And I was the first one talking about creating jobs and restructuring our tax system in this state. You know, I think we need to look over the last few years what's happened with our tax structure in the state. Since 2003, our budget's grown 47%. You know, and that's at least 1% more than the rate of inflation and the rate of population in that time. If we took out that 7%, we'd probably be close to having a balanced budget this year, but the legislature just cannot seem to resist spending our tax money on things that we don't need. You know, they can't resist that draw to pay for reoccurring things with one-time money. And those kind of practices have gotten us into the trouble that we're in now. So, and, you know, I know, Rob, you would have the most time to get seniority, but remember, you did agree that you wanted to have term limits as well. So, you know, and I agree that we need term limits in our state government, and that we need to put people in office that are not looking to make a career out of it, because I don't think that's what our founding fathers had in mind when they set up our government structure. Their idea was to go and serve the people, and then to go back home and continue their lives, and that's what we need again in our government. Thank you for your support. Thank you again for coming this evening.
And finally,